Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is my regular monthly update on everything in bloom on the 8th. Actually on the 8th this month as well, which makes a change. It just depends what day of the week the 8th falls on. If it falls on a Sunday, then I either do it Saturday or Monday because of the Sunday chat. That's a regular Sunday thing, that's every week. Whereas the everything in bloom is once a month. It's going to be pretty quick today because there's quite a lot of things that were in bloom last time that have gone over now, and other things haven't come to replace them yet. So just going round here, I've got no Restrepias out in bloom at all. The Masdevallias that were out are no longer, so they're gone. Yeah, up round the back there, that black hair type, if you can see through the jungle, I'll zoom in. I don't normally do buds, but that will be more blooms on one cane than I've ever had on a black hair type before, and hey presto, there's another huge cluster on that cane. So that's going to be quite a show. They're big flowers as well, so they're going to all overlap each other. The Aphyllum's gone over, so they're very short-lived anyway. This one's still to come. Nothing else here, nothing on those shelves, no mounts, nothing over here. Oh, we do have an unusual thing for me, and I would say an absolute first. That Nobly, look how many of those what I thought were going to be blooms have turned into kikis. The first three and probably the fourth. I think from there up they will probably be blooms. But the kikis I don't need on that, I really don't. I certainly don't want any more of those, of that particular plant. So that's a nuisance. That would have been blooms. That's going to have to wait a lot longer for blooms now because the top ones have only just started. There's nothing going on down here. Over here, you need to get a spike, a monster plant like that. Up here we have one spike on an unnamed plant, but that's an odont type. And then we have to come over here before we get to the blooms, but that's reasonable in here because when things are in bloom I do put them in this area so I can see them from my computer seat. So this is new, we haven't had this one everything in bloom. My light's not very good today. I've had to wait for it to stop raining because of the noise. It's a very overcast, dull day at the moment. So this is my Avanagara apple blossom. Mine is the ordinary original cross as far as I know. So it hasn't got a flashy name in quotes on the end. It's just, it's not Avanagara anymore as well. It's been given another name. But these are delicate colours, these are not shouting loud colours, but they're well balanced. The sort of centre starts sort of almost white and goes through a very pale yellow into pink. Now that's unusual. And then the lip, you've got the nice veining and the deeper yellow in the centre with the nice sort of pink around the edges. So that's that one. My Cymbidium over here I'm going to class it as just about hanging on, but it's about to go. Oh, fragrance has just hit me. Still not sure I like that. Not the Cymbidium, something else, we'll get to it in a minute. But this spike is going to have to come off very soon. This is the last Cymbidium to be repotted, relatively large one. And all the other Cymbidiums are gone. They're lost. They're all out there. So Cymbidiums are now outside getting rained on and getting some weather. That's not where they're going to stay at the moment. I'm having to put them there because I haven't got my bonsai staging sorted out, which means I'm running out of places to put things. Now I want them to get some sun. Now that's either going to be early morning sun, which is difficult because wherever the sun gets first thing in the morning, it tends to stay there right up till sort of lunchtime, and I don't want midday sun on them. So the other option is to get evening sun, and that is there. And at the moment I've got bonsai stuff there and the bird feeders and stuff, so I've got some sorting out to do. But anyway, they're outside. I will keep my eye on the forecast. If there is any threat of it getting down sort of much below 5 or 6 degrees, probably 8 degrees, they'll come in for the night and then go back out again the next day. Right, so that's the Cymbidium chat. Then we've got the lovely red cattleya, and I'm pleased because all of the buds except one actually opened. They didn't blast, and I was expecting them to. So very nice show there. This camera doesn't show the vibrance of that red. It almost glows. It's a really smashing colour. The camera shows it red, yes, but it doesn't capture the sort of light that's being reflected. It doesn't capture that. So that's that one. That's done well. The bobcat, this is a very feeble spike, but at least we've got one. Last time that bloomed, the spike was a good 2 foot long with branches, and probably had about 12 to 15 blooms on. So this is a poor blooming, but nonetheless it started its next growth, and as long as I can produce a growth as large as this one and give it the proper feed, the next spike will be good. Now coming round here, my rather elaborately named Paphiopedilum has gone now. This bloom has collapsed and fallen off. This one will fall off soon, and this one is just, the tails have just gone brown recently. So the best thing I can do with that now is, this is the last time we film it, and the best thing I can do is take the spike off now, because the chances are that will push it to produce its next growth, which I think might actually be starting anyway. But nonetheless, the spike's serving no purpose now. The blooms have gone. And then this is my Silogenine nitida. Used to be Orchid or something like that. But these are delicate, very delicate colouring on the lip. Now unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to get close enough to focus in on that. I will try. I have to have a very steady hand or it will go out of focus. I don't think I can get any closer than that, not without getting the tripod out. But there is a lovely colouring and a lovely patterning, a lovely deep yellow with red markings. So it's very, and that's on a nice almost white background. The white is not quite pure white. It has a hint of straw colour within it, and therein lies the fragrance, I think. Straw. I'm just not keen on that fragrance. And then over here we've got the Dendrobium Victoria Regina, and this is not a bad blooming for me. It's a good few clusters. 2 of the clusters have already gone over, but it's still produced some more. And again, the camera will have difficulty getting this colour right. It's funny, a lot of people buy this based on pictures, and then when they get it and they get it to bloom, if it's not already in bloom, they sort of think, well, that's not the same colour as in the pictures. That's because it's almost impossible to film this either on video or on stills or on a phone and get the colour exactly as it is in real life. It's something about this bloom, it just doesn't film very well. But nice patterning, and as far as the orchids that I can grow are concerned, that's as near to blue as I'm ever going to get. It isn't blue, it's purple. But they class it as a blue. Well, it's not really. And then last but not least, which is facing the wrong way, is my other Silogenine that's out. And this is a large bloom, and they tend to have 1 bloom. On a good few occasions you'll get 2, and rarely you'll get 3. but it can push out blooms at any time of year. So sometimes, you know, you can have more than one spike on the go, which may be true next year because I do have 2 new growths, 3. There's a 3rd one coming up. So we may get a staggered blooming next year, but with a bloom that size, you know, even though there's only 1, and it's not just the colour, it's got raised patterning, it's got structure to it. Very unusual bloom. But yeah, I mean, I like that a lot. There's a little story there because the bud was green for many, many months. And I thought it had just aborted and was just not going to open. And then it started to turn this colour. You know, if you think of that as the outside of the bud. To all intents and purposes, because I didn't know any better, I thought it had rotted. I was about to cut it off. And then a couple of days later it opened. So good job I was hesitant. Anyway, and that's it. That's what's in bloom at the moment. There is some more to come. My Kiniko over here, Dendrobium almost lost. That's that tatty looking object in that pot there. But it's now got greenery on it in quite a few places, and we've got buds. So we're going to see the blooms on that again. Lovely, lovely deep purple, that one. So there we go. That's what there is at the moment. And I've got to now spend a good bit of today on my talk, because I've spent 2 days doing nothing. On the talk, I mean, not doing nothing. So I really do need to get on with that today. So that's why I wanted to get this out of the way. And then I'm hoping to spend a good part of the afternoon working on that talk. I've got 6 Dendrobium sections to do. 2 are done. That leaves 4. And quite honestly, one of them I sort of did yesterday in the Sunday chat. So I haven't got to put much effort into doing that one. Just get some plant names together and things. So yeah, if I could get another 2 done today, I'll be happy. But bearing in mind I've got this funeral on Wednesday, that takes a day out. And I need it on YouTube at least by Friday, so that people have got a chance to, you know, see if I've spelt anything wrong. And I sort of look at it like this. If there's a word spelt wrong in a whole presentation and somebody points it out while I'm doing the talk, so what? Is it the end of the world? It isn't really, is it? But yeah, I'd like to get it up on YouTube early on Friday, so that it, on first thing Saturday morning, if there's any corrections to do, I can do them early on Saturday and recreate the video onto the Orchid Society laptop, ready to go to the meeting on Saturday. It's cutting it fine, but you know, that's how it is. So anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.